Carolina, you're here supporting Ian.
And Nikki and Graziella, yes, who are very, very dear friends. I've known Ian, already met him 6 years ago already, and I loved him the moment I met him, not just for his beautiful eyes and his beauty, as we all love him for, but for his soul and his heart. He is just such a beautiful person on the inside. You know, that yes, the outside is just so beautiful, but the inside is even much more beautiful.
Now, not only appearing here, are there other things that you do to help his foundation or support it?
So I'm getting on stage tonight, and we have actually a very special fashion experience lot tonight. So it's going to a fashion show, hotel, flights to New York. I'm going to help the winner to get ready for Fashion Week, help them with their outfits so they feel great and they feel like, you know, they fit in. And there's some fashion items, so it's like a really exciting lot. And so hopefully that will go for a lot of money. And yes, I love what Nikki and Ian are doing. I have 2 young children, so I know how important definitely our children are and the youth, you know, educating them and getting them involved in really appreciating and understanding and being grateful what we have, you know, taking care of the ground, the garbage, the ocean, not pollute it, not destroy it, and animals being nice and kind, you know, because without it, we can't live without it, right? Like plants and the nature gives us so much, gives us foods, gives us air. So I'm really big on that. So I really cherish what they do, and it's important.
So Ian, let's talk a little bit about your foundation. This is something completely different. You're usually acting, and now you're doing some philanthropy work. I would love to know more about IS Foundation, or IS. Is it IS or IS?
IS. Well, actually kind of cool. Is sort of a the word itself feels sort of like a verb, so it kind of, you know, it is the IS Foundation, although it's really more about, it's everyone's, to be honest with you. Myself and Nikki's name may be on it, but really what this is about is really 3 things. Youth education, youth empowerment, animals, and environment. But at the core of it, we really sort of realized that saving animals is a huge component of the compassion that is what it is to be human. But from a youth education standpoint, if you think about it, our greatest untapped natural resource are kids, is our youth. And yet they're typically the most overlooked group of people in the world, and yet they are our future. So if we empower them to be the most, effectively, if we can build the next generation of mankind to be the most compassionate, most innovative, most grateful, caring, loving group of people the world has ever seen, a lot of these problems that we have now will cease to exist. You won't have food shortages. You will have a lot less disease. The social problems that we face, from domestic violence to war, these things will effectively not play out anymore in society because we will have built the next generation of humankind to be the most compassionate and grateful group of people ever. And so the thing about youth, though, is that it takes a lot of planning and it takes real investment. And for some reason, a lot of societies and we don't necessarily invest as much as we should. And so what we aim to do is couple saving animals with youth education, early youth development, and agriculture. So you have people running around understanding that if you have compassion for a dog or a cat or a horse or a goat, you have compassion for one another. And therefore, when you walk outside or you drive or fly across a body of water, you have compassion for every species below that water and every species above you in the sky. And obviously walking, slithering, swimming around you on the ground. And so that's what we aim to do. here.
Now, I saw on your social media that you're really active with Standing Rock. Are you partnering, or is the foundation partnering with backing those people and being a voice for them?
Here's the thing. It's about being an amplifier. If there's anything that this crazy thing that we do called entertainment allows us to do, is to ultimately become an amplifier. And pipelines work all over our country. We know that. The big problem we're running into right now is clean water. And if you look at a lot of pipelines, and if you look at the pipeline that the company that even wants to build this pipeline, they just had a big issue, 2 weeks ago. We're just not ready for a big body of water, particularly on land that is very sacred. But we're just not ready to risk losing our water for the next generation. It's just not worth it. And right now, we're haphazardly building these things. You can look in the Amazon right now. Look at Nigeria. Another one, I think it happened in Alabama not too long ago. These things rupture. And unfortunately, when they rupture, everything around it dies. And I think we just have to find another way. And at this time, it's just not worth it. And so this isn't a political thing. This isn't red or blue. This is about being smart. And so I understand that job creation is an incredibly important thing. But again, I'll leave you with this. And it's actually a really kind of cool thing. And one of my mentors and someone who's really been very giving to me with his time and energy is Deepak Chopra. And years ago, he sort of walked me through, when you ask someone what is the environment, typically they'll say the natural world that surrounds us, right? But I offer this, and if you can imagine the world as the same biological process as us. So the trees of the world are its lungs. The river systems and oceans are the cardiovascular systems carrying all the vital nutrients to the organism that it needs. So basically, if you cut all the trees down, you're preventing the organism from what? Breathing. And if you pollute all the water systems, all those vital nutrients can't get to the organism. And what happens? It starts to shut down and die, which is effectively what we're doing to our world. So if you can teach a young person or an adult that we are not separate from the environment, we're actually the same as the environment, you'll think a lot more about hurting it. So you protect it as you would yourself or your mother or your child. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think you're doing a really great thing here. And, keep it up. I really appreciate you telling people, the world, in ways that we need to help one another. So, if people wanted to donate to your foundation, how can they go? Just go to your website?
The isfoundation.org or isfoundation.com. And it is absolutely, I think, imperative, not just for this foundation, but we have to not only save these creatures that we love to live with, but we have to build the next generation of incredible young people coming up into the world. And so I am asking, and I know it's been a really crazy year and it's getting to the end of the year, but I'm asking people if they can look into their hearts and reach into their wallets just a tiny bit to help us move this mission along and build a better tomorrow, but literally not more than tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow comes very quickly. So isfoundation.com, and please help us. We are very, very, very grateful.
All right, thanks, Ian.
Hey, thank you.
All right, no
really
problem.
kind.